Okay, this is my top 10 NES games. These are my personal favorite that made it into top 10. So this doesn't mean this is the best of NES games, like the top 10 NES games are just my top 10 personal 10. All right, so number 1, it's Mega Man 3. So for this slot, I'm going in order of 1 to 10. So Mega Man 3 is my favorite NES game of all time. Um, the Mega Man series in general is my favorite, NES series of all time. I like it better than, anything else. It's the whole reason why I rebought an NES and started to play the video games again. And, now for speedrunning, Mega Man 1 and 2 is much better, but Mega Man 3 is still like my favorite, NES game. So that's my number 1 game. All right. Number 2 is Dr. Mario. So for Dr. Mario, this is a game that like I just could play forever and ever and ever, pretty much. And there's something great about being sort of stressed or being whatever and just playing this game, sort of somewhat doing this while thinking or not thinking. It works really great like that. This was like probably my favorite game when I was a kid, when I was growing up. So that's number 2. All right. Number 3 is Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and look at that lovely sticker price that I got. Oh man, I got that for $14 back in 2009. I don't know how much the game goes for now. It's a lot. It's probably over 50. It goes for now. I don't know how much it is exactly, but this game it's just so classic. It's great. It's definitely one of my favorites to play. And last year I beat Mike Tyson for the first time in my life. So that was like a major, it was a major milestone as far as being like, oh, I can like rest in peace, so to speak, because it's like I beat Mike Tyson on there. And then, the first video that I did for the Chris Beats NES Games, video series was to make a video where I could show that I beat Mike Tyson, first of all, and then second, telling people how I beat him and what you did. Which really, how I beat Mike Tyson, I didn't figure it out on my own. It was not a matter of me just playing Mike Tyson over and over again, or playing the Mike Tyson's Punch Out over and over again. That doesn't work. I wasn't going anywhere. The way how I was able to beat it was Sinister One. He put a tutorial out. It was like a whole series of Mike Tyson tutorials. It was speed running, but then he also broke it down in a much slower way for people who just simply want to beat these bosses and not necessarily the speed run. So if it wasn't for that tutorial and his technique and him breaking down how you beat Mike Tyson, I would not have been able to beat Mike Tyson. So I understood what to do, but I still had to put in all the time of practicing to survive that first minute 30 seconds in round 1. That's still hands-on practice, and it was really, really hard to get through the wall. But everything else was learning. Okay. So number 4 is Little Nemo Dream Master, and I really love this game. It's like just the music, the atmosphere, all of it is really great, like fantasy kind of platformer game, and really iconic to me. I also really love the movie Little Nemo. I liked it a lot. I thought it was the animation of it was really cool and interesting. My number 5 is Super Mario Bros. 3. So this became a game that I did try to speedrun. Not 100% speedrun, but just simply a warpless speedrun, and also with warps speedrun. So this was the first game that I got into to try to speedrun was doing, warpless and with warps any percent or whatever, but not the 100% thing. But Mega Man 2 wound up being more of my real calling as far as feeling like I was actually getting kind of somewhere with that. I think with Super Mario Bros. 3 at the time for my warpless run, I think I was like 10 minutes off of Arcus's time. It was like around there, and now my time is 5 minutes off of Arcus's time for Mega Man 2. So those are kind of like my goals, was to basically not beat his time, but like get it very close, like in around the same minute. Like that's kind of like my goals right now, for both those games for speedrunning. I don't intend to become a world champion speedrunner, because that's those guys that can hold those top positions. There's no way I can do that. But yeah. Anyway, so all right. Number 6 is Adventure Island. And I'm choosing the first one just because it felt the most classic to me. Now, really, in each sequel of this game was just better and better. Like, there's a lot of elements in Adventure Island 2 that's a lot better than 1, and there's elements in Adventure Island 3 that's better than 2. So in a way, like, Adventure Island 3 is really the optimized NES game. Like, I would say that in many ways it's probably the best Adventure Island game. And but there's still something about this one that puts it. I would have to put it in my top 10 for that. Basically, once you learn that you have to get the B, and then you can actually go past World 1, then it's a very interesting game. Very hard though. And then there's Bomberman with the first one, again, not the second one. This game is just like, the whole concept of this game is like really, really great, and I really, really like it. And so far, I've only played these two on NES. I would probably like playing it on the other systems, like the other sequels to this game, just because I really like the format, the design of the gameplay of it. So that one's really good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that was number 7. Number 8 is a surprise even to myself now, but this is now slipped in. Zelda 2 Adventure of Link. Not Zelda 1, Zelda 2 Adventure of Link is now in my top 10. Once I figured out, how you beat this game and what you do, specifically when I saw Mike Matei play through this game, and he knew what he was doing, that really made this be like, oh wow, this game isn't actually shit. This game's actually is really good, and I really wanted to play it because I saw him have like a good experience basically with it. And then I started to learn how to play it. Very first time going through the game was pretty brutal, but after that, I was able to. Then I was like, I think I can do it faster, and I think I can do it faster. And I wasn't trying to speed run it because it's like it's a really long game. But I kept wanting to get a better time with it and just do more with it. So I was starting to realize like I really like this game, and I really like the battle theme music. When you're going through the caves and all that stuff is a really cool track. Personally, I mean, if having noticed, like, I am really an NES action adventure platformer person, so I really prefer the Zelda 2 to Zelda 1, because Zelda 1 is the overview and it's not really a platformer. And I'm really more of a platformer action adventure player. So that's really for me why Zelda 2 I like better than Zelda 1. And I don't know, I just feel like there's more to this game than Zelda 1. So I think it's better. I know. Oh my god. Alright, so number 9 is, for me, is Annoyed. And again, I like the Capcom platformer games are my favorites. Mega Man's obviously my #1 favorite. I showed, Little Nemo Dream Master is in there. And then I really like this one, because I really like the yo-yo weapon is cool. And then the one stage when you have like the kind of the item that they're showing on here, like this like smash item stage thing is really cool. And again, also hard, but I just really like the gameplay with it. The yo-yo weapon is good. So all right, so for my number 10 slot, it's really a tie between two different games, and it's for two separate reasons. So my number 10 is Castlevania. It's Castlevania 1. So my mixed feelings with this was that for me, it's like if I was to own an NES, I have to have Castlevania. It's just kind of totally essential. It's like having Super Mario Bros. 3 and Mario 1. Like, you have to have these games as part of the NES. But after I have beaten the game, and I've even done some loops of this game. Yes, of Castlevania 1, I'm questioning myself now. I did. Oh, no, I didn't do loops on this. No, I'm trying to do loops on this. I'm thinking of Contra. Contra, I've done 5 loops of Contra, but this game, I still can't beat Loop 2 yet. That's something I'm actually currently working on for a video, that I don't think I'll be able to do that challenge. But anyway, but the thing is, though, also similar to Adventure Island, but the reason why this is down in the 10 spot and almost didn't even make the list is because this game makes me mad. And Dracula's Curse especially makes me mad. I can say it's a great game and it has all these features and there's a lot, money to your buck, so to speak. But really, the memories, and even if I was to play it now and stuff, there's a certain traumatic anger to this game and to Dracula's Curse, which is why it's in the 10 spot. So I had to think to myself, is there a game I actually enjoy playing more because of the traumatic anger with Castlevania? Because I can't explain it, but now Adventure Island, is really brutal game. In many ways, Adventure Island is way more brutal than even Castlevania, I would say. But there's something about Adventure Island that's way more enjoyable to me than Castlevania. I can't explain it. I mean, it tortures you, but there's something about this, just certain things in it that just really make me upset. Like the last hallway before Dracula in Castlevania 1, it's like really just an unpleasant level. I mean, it's just, there's a certain emotional weightiness to it that really takes away from it. So my other top 10 that doesn't do that to me, that I think about what's fun and what's enjoyable, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 arcade game. Especially this as a 2-player game is probably one of the best 2-player game experiences on the NES. That's just fun and it's great, and it still has challenge. Beating this game is very hard as far as the last level, because having to go through the one boss, and then you go and you do Krang and then Shredder all in a row, and then Shredder, kills you in one hit, and Krang constantly hits you and all this stuff, is really, really hard. Like, this was a hard game to beat. But the experience of getting there to the boss is a lot more fun than Castlevania. And when you have a second person, it's even more fun. So because of that, it's kind of like these are both tied for 10, two different reasons. So this game had to be in there because it's just really enjoyable game, especially with someone else. And Castlevania, it's not as enjoyable, but it's really great at the same time. But that it's not enjoyable part, so that makes it almost not make the 10. So that's the way I explain it. All right, so that's my top 10 favorite NES games, and for those reasons.